I graduated in India. However, I studied in India, I worked in India, I worked in Dubai, and then here in United States. And I have been able to get my experience in corporate, right from talent acquisition, recruitment to organizational development to change management. And I'd like to say that I had a very good experience with Johnson and Johnson Medical, which was my international experience, where I worked with 5 different countries on moving their IT project from JD Edwards to SAP. So I would like to know, like, how many people are from the IT side background or IT industry, because that's my passion to a certain extent, and that's how I've been able to develop here in United States. However, while I was in India, I was consulting to a lot of companies in basically, I think, Praveen, you got me at the right spot. I came in to bring in engagement ideas with the companies where my team and us got into the company, understood the environment, saw what are the requirements, and we gave them ideas along with the company employees, because this is, I'm talking about around 10 years ago, where we still had a very bureaucratic kind of an organization. And the top management was right, always right. There was no customer, there was no internal customer, where I say an employees are internal customers. So that experience I have drawn myself into, and led myself into retail HR, where I came across different nationalities. I have worked with 127 different nationalities and learned the lifestyle and the culture, that how do you work with different cultures. And believe me, we are all the same. We may have different color skin, but our thought process, our behavior are all the same. So without doing further, I would like to jump on to asking all of you in the chat. I'd like to know from you as to two things which I'd like to know. One is, what department are you currently handling? What's your major role? And two, what is your expectation out of this session today? Not only from my white papers, but from others. I'd like to know, what is your expectations? If you can immediately type on the chat box, and I'll just set up my screen share in the meanwhile. I'd like to see more than 35 to 40 people I see here. So I'd like to see a lot of your engagements, everyone. I'd like to know about you. So please go ahead and type on the chat as to what department or role you handle, as well as what's your expectation. Nice, I can see. Okay, nice to meet you, Sunny. Nice to meet you, Nadia.
Hey, hi, Jasmine. Same here.
Yes, Neil, you're into underwriting.
Yeah, Jasmine.
Good one. Let them keep coming. Because here today, what I'm going to be speaking about is all about the past experience and certain experience which I have gained here in United States with my colleagues or with my friends around. And I would like to talk here about how ideas have been generated, how ideas have been implemented, and how ideas have been put into a repository. Somebody spoke about how to put it in a repository. So let me tell you one thing. Ideas are just like a seed. It has the potential to give you the fruit. It's all about how you nurture and how you create it to give it into a good tree and the fruit which you would like. So here it's a push and pull strategy which we talk about. What I'm going to be telling you about is that how ideas are just ideas unless it is not able to resolve anything. So I still see some chats coming in. Yes, I see he would like to, Sunny would like to explore opportunities as a trainer. Okay, sounds good. Saikat, you're into Sodexo. Oh, awesome. Raki, you're a director. Thank you for permanent hiring business. Thank you, Raki, for having yourself here. Appreciate. So moving forward, I'd like to share something which we all know about Richard Branson. Yes, being in United States, we also follow him very blindly. He talks about that they are the lifeblood of business and captures every fleeting idea and drives for change. Here, I'd like to tell you is about ideas. In United States, I have experienced that there are different avenues and cells or rooms or channels or forums which are created just to brainstorm. So there are a lot of ways where ideation has been given a lot of importance in the organization. And this all comes from the top management or the influential management. And let me tell you, all of you, I see most of you are into human resources line or into influential line. This is what I can tell you. You're all into an influential line. Influential line means people who have the capacity or the ability to influence a decision making. And it could be right at the top and the down approach. And this is what I'd like to bring to your ideas, that you who are present here, all the people who are attending this session, have the capacity to mitigate and actualize the idea, whatever your employees or your team come up with. So that's why my term today is ideation to fruition. So you guys are all the mediators. I would like to tell you, I have seen that experience in my past. I'm still doing the same, which I'm going to be talking about it. So I still see some people more answering about, what expectations they have. So let me put up a timer for myself so then I know that I don't go overboard in my time. So here I would like to tell you one major part, the root cause which we have identified is when ideas are not heard, there is disengagement. And even Praveen spoke about in his session today earlier that how employees get disengaged. It's about like a silent robot. You don't take ideas, you've done nothing. There's nothing involvement. And that's the major root cause which creates to disengagement. So today I'm going to talk about how ideas can help the employees get engaged, be there relevant, feel themselves important, as well as feel involved, and they become stakeholders. This is a live example while I was at J&J, Johnson & Johnson, where I was working with an IT project as a change management lead, and I had really break barriers. I mean, at that time, I'm talking about in 2012, when I was working with them. And at that time, we saw that we worked with virtual teams, the one which we're working currently. We worked in virtual teams, 5 different countries, bringing a project to move, and the project had come to an halt. It was not moving. What was the issue? It was all because we had all the big top leads, we had other mid layers, and they all were running in different houses. So it was like a cart where 2 horses running in different zones, and we were not able to achieve our objective. It had completed 1 year. The project had to complete in 1 year, but it was already 1 year, and the project had not even moved 20%. So while I got involved, my first thing which I did was that I asked just simple questions. What are the problems are you facing? Now, this is where I tell you about is the question which was asked, which I felt would have been asked, but most of the people involved in the project told me they were never asked this project. They were just told what they need to do, what they need to sign, what they need to do, and that's how things were running in a different direction. So then when I came in and we asked this question, what was going wrong? we had around 5 meetings, which was around each of 2-3 hours, virtual meetings, to understand what the problems we were facing. It was just like a SWOT analysis. And that's where the ideas came that, we are not gelling well. We are not contributing well. So somebody from my project said, Jasmine, why don't we have a physical meeting where we meet and interact with everyone? And I said, yes, that makes sense, but it was cost effective because everybody going to one country was involving a lot of stuff. So he said, okay, let's do something where with 2 countries, some people meet together, and we had that. Believe me, after that, the project ran like a horse, because when we met physically, we were able to identify that we both, or the person on the other side, is talking the same objective. It's the language difference. So when the employees or when the people involved in a project get engaged, you are able to move forward with any project. And here I would like to highlight some facts here about, this is from Gallup, that the employees who are disengaged at work has averaged 70% for nearly 2 decades. Basically, who are disengaged have not contributed, and they are 70%. And the second issue, which we see already in international levels or in any country, is that the productivity losses are often caused by less than 20% of employees who are disengaged or extremely disengaged. Now, this is where the bottleneck problem is, that we are hitting on the productivity. And if you ask any of the top management, this is a burning concern about productivity. Now, you would tell me, Jasmine, how can productivity be affected with ideas? I know I'm talking 2 different things. I'm talking a big thing and ideas. Ideas, yes. Productivity does get affected, and I will show you now in some time how this can be coming from the disengagement or the engagement of an employee. So here I'd like to share a video. Now, when I talk about productivity, some answers will be coming from here, where when you ideate, and ideation means when you execute an idea, what is the result you're seeing? Because there is a problem, generally big people or whereas practitioners, HR practitioners have told that there needs to be a compelling issue. There needs to be a problem, and you ask the employee that problem to solve it, and bingo, the idea comes in. So let me share this video with all of you, and then I will be talking about what
would like to thank Renault Nissan Technology and Business Center India for sharing the concept for COVID Key. The concept was tested in Renault Nissan's Open Innovation Lab in Chennai. We are
Not yet, Jasmine.
I think, just give me a minute.
Sure.
thankful to the team for sharing the concept with us as a gesture of solidarity against.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, we can hear the voice also.
You can hear the video or noise?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, because I was not able to hear. Just give me a minute again.
At least I can hear. I don't know about others.
Business Center India for sharing the concept for COVID Key. The concept was tested in Renault Nissan's Open Innovation Lab in Chennai. We are thankful to the team for sharing the concept with us as a gesture of solidarity against the spread of the pandemic. To safeguard yourself and others. Cello Wrap. Recommend you to buy and use.
All right. So what do you see in this video? Can anybody tell me? Somebody who can unmute and tell me about it.
Yeah, Ms. Jasmine, basically we could just see few fractions, can't recollect.
Oh, you were not able to hear the video?
We are able to hear, but we were concentrating on that only, not that what is happening on that video.
Okay.
Would like
Let
to
me
thank
play it
Renault
because I
Nissan
had
Technology
done a
and
clipping.
Business
I did
Center
not show
India
the
for
full
sharing
video
the concept for
because I did
COVID
not
Key.
wanted to. I just
The
wanted to show
concept was
something.
tested in Renault Nissan's Open Innovation Lab in Chennai. We are thankful to the team for sharing the concept with us as a gesture of solidarity against the spread of the pandemic. To safeguard yourself and others. Cello Wrap. Recommend you to buy and
Yeah, it's a innovation lab basically for the Renault.
Right. So, in the clipping, one thing which I'd like to tell you is we just did what the company Renault was talking about. Basically, what they are making is the key to solve the opening and closing of the handles. If you know the key which was made, if everybody knows, the key to, because of the corona, we all know we were not able to, touch doors or open up public places where we had people using a lot of hands. So this key was this iron key which was made, and it was done by the employees. It was an idea developed by the employees of Renault Nissan Technology, which was developed by the Business Center of India, and it was sold by the Cello Wrap company. Now, here, this video, what it's talking about is that how we had an issue, if you know, we are all facing the coronavirus issue, and how that issue has been resolved by a key to a certain extent. I'm not saying fully, to a certain extent, to protect you not to touch any object where public people have used it. So when we're talking about this iron key, this was an idea developed or came up by the employees of Renault Nissan Technology. And this was given some crowdfunding and developed and sold as an open source to be used and to be copied by anybody who can make this key. So what I'm trying to say here is, imagine how an employee would feel that his ideas he was contributor to solve a bigger problem, which is of the world now. So that's one part which I'm being sharing here. Now let me go into my next example, which I would really like to talk about Nestle. Now this is Nestle US, which I have experienced that they have a wonderful idea creation channel. Now, Raki, this may answer your question to a certain extent, and let me share this, how did Nestle go about with it? So Nestle, if you know, Nestle is all into food products and into chocolates, which we all see. So it's all about dairy products and food items. So their consumers are really big public like all of us. And Nestle has all their companies around United States as well as in international. So they believe that customers have to be satisfied first, and customers need to be given anything new in the market which is coming up, or giving them something new variety of food items. So what they came up is, now this here in this example, you will see how the top management has created a channel. It's called the open channel, and they believe that every employee is an entrepreneur. Now, how did they go about doing this? Is when in 2018, they introduced a crowdsourcing platform to tap the brain power of every employee. They created a channel, which is called the open channel, and they came up with compelling challenges, and asked for solutions from the employees. Now, these employees could be anyone from marketing, could be anyone from the factory, could be anyone from HR, or could be anyone in the IT or finance, or from the ground level. And what they did was they asked certain problematic issues and sent their employees to answer. When the employees give their ideas, the other employees vote those ideas, like the co-workers vote those ideas. And the best idea or the highest polling ideas is then presented to the board. The board reviews it, and whoever has presented the idea is made the project owner for that idea, and other teams are made to join with him. The crowdsourcing comes in, the funding comes in, it's nurtured, and then given guidelines about how to go about in, I'm sorry, and how about to go in funding that idea. So these employees are called the internal founders. Really, the internal founders. Now, I'll tell you, Nestle came up with a product which I would say the batata vadas of US is the mac and cheese here. Every kid and every family has this mac and cheese. This idea was brought about by mac and cheese with certain other variety of flavors. And this was coming out by an executive, a new joining executive who created that, how that mac and cheese can come in different flavors to cater to different cultures which are in United States. Now, if you go to see, this product was a big hit because their sales doubled up just for mac and cheese, because now people from different cultures who were not eating it, even like Indians like us who like spicy, were able to buy it because it's coming in the flavor which we like. And that's how the whole productivity increased, the profitability increased. Just imagine a small idea. And this lady, this marketing executive lady, had tried this home. She used to try different recipes at home, and she came up with this idea. And believe me, now this product is a big hit here in the United States. So what I'm trying to tell you is, imagine how the whole process took place from an idea to nurturing it and giving it a result. And believe me, who were the ones who influenced these ideas were one of you like us from the HR who believed that this would be a success story, who believed that yes, this could be given more avenues and this would be comprehended. And here I'd like to again share my another experience while I was in India and I was consulting for now it's become one of the largest financial broking firm into financial investment. This is, I'm talking about 8 years ago, where my team had come into this company, were called for an intervention where it was a family run business. The new kids on the block were coming in, the boys, the sons were taking over the business ahead. They brought us in to see as to how they can revamp their organization, they can bring in more engagement. So we identified that there were 50 to 60 employees at that point of time. They were all stuck and glued to the computer for the stock market. And at that time, it was very low interactions. There were very low interactions amongst people. People just came in, logged in, and logged out. That's it, So the newbies, the new generation, or the new kids, or the sons, were finding that they need something more livelier at the organization. So as usual, any as an HR consulting firms would do, is we got in and we did a company survey done by the top management, survey done to the employees. And we had a brainstorming session again as to what can be done, what cannot be done. We took ideas and, the management was involved. One day I was sitting at my lobby in one of the lounge in the office, and there's this peon who was pretty, not an aged, but a matured person who always took good care of us, as since we were the intervention company employees, like we were coming as third party company. So he took care of, and we got really pally with him. So he knew our taste, he knew what we like to eat and order food and everything. He came up and he said, "Madam ji, आप लोग सब लोग का सुने लेकिन हमारा नहीं सुने." And that was a striking point for me and as well as my team. Like, you heard every one of us, but you did not hear us, me and my team. Now, these are the office errand boys who do the legwork, who do the paperwork, who bring the food on our table, who bring the water on our table. And he said, "Mujhe aapko ek idea dena hai." Without my permission, he comes and he tells me that, you know what, we have 50, 60 employees, and it's always an issue that you see that, we have to bring glasses of water every second hour to all the tables. And that way, we are not able to cater to the customers who are coming in to meet the sales team. So we are not giving good attention to the customers. We are delayed because we have to look at somebody else Why can't we have 2 tanks put up and put water bottles on every table and let the employees get up and fill up the water bottle and bring it? I said, that makes sense because you have an idea of like, okay, your customer service needs to be taken care of. The internal customers can take care of themselves. We brought this idea on the management table. We brought this peon person at the table and asked him to share this idea. It was a bit of a up and down. However, we had some success stories after that. We saw tanks put up, we saw the water bottles put up, and believe me, if you know everyone, we have the tank gossip too. That gave a lot of avenues for people to interact, exchange, and give avenues of what they have, to talk about the organization or how things can get better. And this is what the new generation was looking at. They wanted people to come out of their cocoon and, flower like a butterfly. And that also helped us to, achieve our objective. So moving forward, I'll again come back to our US experience. I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking about these experiences, which may help you to identify where your company is fitting into. Now, this is a very interesting topic because IT is something very close to my heart, and HR, where I always try to mingle my hands into. So just the way we have Vichare couriers for Mumbai or India, or you can say, we have UPS in the United States. United Parcel Service. That's what we call it. And in United States, what we believe here is that if a parcel doesn't reach to us on a scheduled date, we are liable to get the money back as well as some compensation from the company. Now, this is a serious issue for UPS. That means they have to deliver on that particular delivery date. The company was facing a challenge. Now, this is where came up with an idea by the drivers of the UPS who drive these shipping parcels, that they came up with an idea where they use electronic beacons. Now, this is all barcoded. I'll tell you, like, they came up with an idea that how come the drivers would know that there is a wrong parcel or a project in his van. They came this idea and they went up to IT. And IT identified that they could use some programming language, patent it, and now they have a patent idea where if a wrong package goes into the van, the driver gets a beep on his phone that he has a wrong package which is there, and that beep comes and he's able to remove all that package and puts it in the right delivery van. Bingo. Here, UPS saw the downturn of their packages returned or, the compensation which they had to pay to their customers.
Hey, Jasmine, just to interrupt you, there are some 2 gray windows are coming on the slide, which is obstructing the complete view. Maybe can you just keep it side?
Okay, let me. Hi.
Yeah.
Can you? Now it's fine.
It's little bit fine. Yeah, it's removing the complete view of the slide.
Okay, are you seeing some more gray area on the right corner of the screen?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, yeah, because that has a video panel, the video panel for all of us. Now I think it should have gone.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's a perfect now, Jasmine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. All right, fine, because this disabled me to see the chat, but it's fine. I think then you can interrupt on the call and tell me. All right, so I'm done with the examples here, which we have about what people are doing with ideation and the creation. So let me complete with certain pointers here. Is to ideation leads to engagement. I was telling you how this engagement takes place, and this engagement leads to profits. Now, these are some figures which I'm going to share with you. So if an employee engages into a business, it has shown that the business has 22% more profitable. And these are facts from all the surveys which have been done. Talking about 2, productivity. the employee who feels engaged and inspired is 125% more productive than the satisfied staffer. Now, this is an alarming thing to note for all of us here. We always complain about productivity. We don't know if they're working. Now we are on virtual teams. Mujhe pata nahi hai, what is he doing? Is he sleeping? Is he watching? Is he really doing? Forget all about that. Don't have those monitor systems. Just get him to talk about what his contribution is, and you see how productivity works. Because here, you're getting him involved, you're getting him to speak what he would like to do, and bingo, you're seeing the productivity working on the line. And thirdly, which is an alarming to all of us as an organization, we have a lot of turnovers. And I'm glad Sunny said that he has turnover less than 10%, which is really good. It must be because your employees are committed. They're committed because they're passionate about what they're doing, and they're passionate about what they've been asked to do or what they've been asked to contribute. Now, this is where the organizations become more committed. So I'm just giving now facts here. Praveen, I may be just going over by 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. So this is one of my last slide is I'd just like to bring about this 59%, which will be an alarming, again, an innovative way to tell that 59% of engaged employees said that their job brings out their most creative ideas against 3% of those less engaged. When I speak about this is basically why this 59% employees said this is because they have been contributing ideas, and those ideas are being worked upon by their company. And again, there was a 40% lower turnover when these engaged employees were contributing to the ideas. So when asked to me as to how these are working around, I would say it's all about the engagement, it's all about the ideation, and it's all about fruition, giving more platforms for people to speak about and how they can resolve it. With this, I will be ending my presentation. I'd like to lay open the platform now for questions if you have. Anybody? You can even unmute and ask the question or ask on your chat box.
Jasmine, there is one question from Rekha, and I think, would you want to answer that?
I am trying to read that. Can you, from who? What was the question?
Just give me a minute. Let me scroll up.
I was just trying to see it.
Maybe Praveen, I can ask the same question verbally here. So thanks, Jasmine. This insight I can tell you. I mean, it is like the concept of disengagement is also quite a good insightful, I can say. I sometimes to tap this innovative innate of people. I mean, they means like it's like we do engage with them, but sometimes they pulls them back. And is there any kind of some kind of systematic tool or something which we can thought of that? I mean, this may be out of the session, I can say that.
So your question is like how to tap on people who are not contributing? Is that your question?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go back to what even Praveen said, that there are shy people. I have tried this avenue. We've had this issue earlier where we've seen that people sometimes don't contribute. Like, for example, it's the same like me. I'm a newbie here with all the 40 people here to 50 here. People find it embarrassing, or people find it, am I going to be asking the right question? So they have this self-doubt. So what I always noticed in my past is we've done small teams. We've done small breakout rooms where everybody's put into with people whom they're comfortable with first.
Yeah.
So you may break into small breakout rooms. You would just generally talk or mingle, because as I told you in one of my past experience, people required to mingle. They wanted to say hi. They wanted to hug each other or shake hands with each other, or just know, okay, hey, what do you do on a weekend? You know, those questions actually trigger a shy person to open up later, or for people to start contributing. That could be one reason, is to not to be left out. Okay, oh, I'm not contributing. I may look dumb. Let me contribute something. So, you know, that could be one of the reasons. Or two, person are not, I would say, vocabulary wise articulated. We generally ask them to write it on a post-it. Now, this is, I'm glad you brought out this point. We had this one of the success stories where we, you know, previously we used to have suggestion box. Suggestion box are now out. Now those are like, now we have graffiti walls or post-its. You just have a wall where people can just write and post anything, but something sensible, not giving bad words or anything, but something sensible. And so everybody puts up a post-it. So for me, I may have a yellow post-it or something like this, and I may post it. And that's a problem maybe, you know. Somebody may answer that post-it under my post-it. So what is happening is here now you are getting some kind of engagement activity done for people. And this could be again in small closed environments which people have.
Yeah.
So I hope, Rahul, I've answered your question.
Yeah, it's like really, it was like a post-paid posting activity, and I kind of think these are really good points. Yeah.
Yeah. And you always need somebody to trigger a problem. You need to have a problem posted. You need to have a problem. This is what I would say. Post a problem.
Yep.
Thank you, Nadia.
Jasmine, good afternoon.
Yes, Krishna. Yes,
this is
Krishna.
Ken Rao. This is Ken Rao. Yeah, I have a brief question for you. Do you have any mechanism to institutionalize the ideas, or it is left to the people to give the ideas and tap it to the innovation level or implementation level?
So mechanism is all people oriented. Generally, we have, as I said, project owner or a process owner who is in charge to do the brainstorming. Okay. Now, idea mechanisms can be on threefold. One is solving a customer problem. Two, solving any kind of a process, basically again an issue. A third is about innovation, like bringing up something new, you know. However, these ideas all may need to be led to some kind of profitability or productivity. I mean, generally I've seen that when ideas, a project owner just comes up with ideas and there is no end justification of how this idea will be productive, bring in productivity or profitability, I would say the idea will not accomplish. So always as a project owner, and mostly HR people are given this mandate, have to have an eye on how that will benefit the company profitability. We are all a commercial organization. We are all here for profits. Because if you do not create a process of how you will lead to profitability, believe me, your top management will shove away your ideas. So to justify your idea, the mechanism what is used is basically brainstorming and bring out justification how it will achieve a profitability or solve a problem.
But employees are given any targets for every year to generate so many ideas from individuals, or otherwise it is a voluntary basis they come up with some ideas?
No, so that's just how I showed you how Nestle has it. They have an open channel. It's a channel, okay, where I would say every month or one Friday, people just get together where the problem is thrown to every department and they come up with the ideas. So there is a special team, a 5-member team, which works only on generating ideas and brainstorming.
It's a problem-driven. It's a problem-driven creation of the ideas.
Yeah, there are compelling issues. They call it not problem, they call it compelling issues. Now, these could be like anything which would help Nestle to grow, you know. So there is a group which their job is they paid only for brainstorming, bringing about, you know, like a, how we say in Scrum meetings, bringing about people together in different groups giving them the problem, asking them to give the idea, and then people vote for the idea from their team. Then it goes up, and the top 3 ideas are laid on the, on the top management side.
Okay. It's I got it. It's a problem-driven mechanism to improve